Hello, dear listeners. I'm from America. I converted 25 years ago in America when I was in college, and now I've lived here in Oman for 22 years. My family is a very strict Christian family. My father was a Christian preacher. After I finished high school, I wanted to just separate from that and think a little bit more about myself independently, so I chose a college that was very far away from home. I actually started with a background in arts, and I studied at a university in Georgia. I started studying Islam, though, as well as all other religions. I started actually skipping class in order to stay home and read more, and very quickly it became a priority in my life to study religion. I don't think that I conscientiously made the choice to get away. I just felt that there was something hitting me as not right, something I wanted to inquire about on my own. Being in college and being exposed to different levels of academic study in different ways kind of began to open that up for me. I think I was most drawn to Islam because when I was looking at other religions, oftentimes they can be presented in a very divisive way, where there is an us and them kind of presentation to learning, and that was something that I had grown up with. What I really liked about Islam is that the Quran tells us repeatedly that we're all one people, we're all one creation of Allah, but it is our behaviors and our changing of what Allah intended for us that has taken us away from that. The Quran is not a new religion. It's calling us back to the same message that Allah has always given us, and that really resonated with me. I appreciated that it was a call for us to reform ourselves, to return back to our natural state. In college, we studied women's rights, the feminist movement in America, and the civil rights movements in general, how America has progressed as a Western society. I felt like when I studied Islam and I studied religion, there was actually Allah giving us a more perfect way of being feminist. And the true sisterhood is there. There is this repetition of religious women covering their heads with the hijab. I actually started wearing the hijab before I even took Shahada. There was one very specific incident where I was walking down the street and I saw some college friends of mine pass one another. There was a guy and a girl walking together, and then another girl passed by, and I saw the look of judgment on the girl's face, where she was trying to assess, is this girl prettier than me? Is she going to take my guy? This is the way that young people worry about one another, and I thought, I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be sisters with all of my sisters. I don't want the judgment of what is on the outside to be the reflection to other people, and the hijab really does that. I feel like now, for 22 years, I've kind of taken on the Omani way of doing a lot of things. But when I go back to America and hijab is unique and special, I fall in love with it again in all of its meaning. One thing that happened right after I converted to Islam was 9/11. I had only been a Muslim maybe a little bit over a year when that incident happened, and everybody knows that there was a lot of difficulty in America at that time. I faced several issues, and then subsequently, as I go home every year to visit my family, I see different changes that are happening within the culture and the way they view Islam. It's like that with everybody. There's some good and there's some bad. There are a lot of people that are like, I totally get why you're doing this. And then there's maybe that one person who's prejudiced or not right. The only time it really affects me is when I'm in my parents' hometown. Because my parents are older, I think to myself, I'm here visiting, but they have to live in this town, and maybe I make it unsafe, or maybe I give them pressure. They are very accepting and supportive. My mum has reiterated to me several times how she appreciates and respects that I cover. But I always have this certain worry in my mind that I could bring harm or distress to somebody else because of my choices. And Allah handles what He will. He's the protector, of course. I actually mark the day I reverted as my real birthday every year, May 18th. It's just a very special time. I took my Shahada on my own. I was going to the masjid. I believe it was a Sunday because the masjid was not open for the normal times that we have here, and I just wanted that to be the time when I go for prayer and I am a real Muslim. My daughter is also a big part of this story. I had my daughter, and as I was pregnant with her, I thought to myself, I need to make a decision now. I need to be serious and make a decision to go in one path, because it's not just me anymore. I have a child that's going to be here soon and depend upon me to guide them, and what will I say? I think that pushed me to make myself the best that I could be. When she was born, I would take her to the masjid with me, and it was just a really special time in my memory. In the place where I lived, it wasn't even a proper masjid. It was an Islamic center that had been made out of a very old house. There were only a few people that would be there, and I would go for lessons and study Quran with the ladies there. After a few months, I took Shahada with my daughter. She would have been about 5 or 6 months old when I actually said the Shahada. It was hard for my family at first, and it was hard for them realizing that I was not going to be Christian. Another difficulty was that most of what they're exposed to about Islam is only what the media tells them, and that's not accurate. Over the years, the media has hyped up quite a lot, with many prejudiced statements about Islam. Thankfully, because I went through this process with them, even though it was difficult for them at first, they learned about Islam. When 9/11 happened, and every year since, they've been able to say, "Oh wait, no, what you're saying isn't the truth. Let me tell you what the real Islam is." They have actually been defending Islam, absolutely. And over the years, that has really grown into a lot more understanding, a lot more openness and acceptance.